welcome back to the channel. This week's video, I'm still in the Lake District. It's going to be part 2, and today we're going to start off by doing something which I don't normally do. Hand hold my camera, so I've got it on my Peak Design strap here. I'm going to be looking for sort of tree portraits, tree abstracts, little details, and we're going to go walk towards a quarry, so I'm going to maybe shoot some pictures of the rocks. It's a beautiful old place, this. Some lovely old oak trees stuck in these rocks, and there's some gnarly branches, so that's going to be my aim today. Might turn some of these into black and white and have a little look at some textures, which would be interesting. So we're going to carry on up the hill here, and I'll take you along as we go. So I'm walking a place very near Ambleside. We've just come up with we've just been past the Windermere Marathon. Wow, I bet that's going to be interesting. But behind me, look at these lovely old oak trees. One's blown down, and then we've got over this way a slate quarry, which is hopefully the other side of that is where we're heading. And this everything looks, the landscape, I mean, even up here, I don't know whether you can see it very well, but everything looks really rugged and gnarly and windswept. I imagine the wind whistles over those fells in the winter, but it's really beautiful. So let's carry on for a bit. I've taken one picture so far, I think. Hand holding for me is interesting because I don't normally do it, so I've got the one of the user settings saved because it takes the delay off, which is obviously throwing me. So I've got it all now set up properly, the camera, and the Z7 and most cameras nowadays have got like a user setting that you can keep everything programmed onto. So I put this onto slot 3, which is my walkabout slot. It worked really well yesterday because yesterday we were standing by a bridge admiring the beautiful scenery, and a grey wagtail, which looks like a yellow wagtail because it's yellow, but it's called a grey wagtail, was we spotted it in the stream. Then it started to fly and put a load of nesting material into a hole in the side of the bridge, which was just wonderful. And the camera I'd already set it up for nature photography, because I also coincidentally shot this picture of a fox cub in my back garden a few weeks ago from a hide, so turned into a bit of a nature photographer. But the good thing about having it set on slot 2, that particular one, was that I literally turned to slot 2 and we were on an 8,000th of a second at f6.7. ISO was auto, which meant that I just zoomed in with a 200mm lens and snapped this picture of the grey wagtail, which should be yellow. So today this is slot 3, and slot 3 is a handheld walking about taking pictures of trees kind of slot. There's an old structure down there as well. It looks beautiful, and we've been so lucky with the weather. And then these clouds up here, if this kind of sky stays there for tonight, it's going to be wonderful up at top of Holmfell. It's going to be really lovely. That is if I survive the climb. It isn't actually too bad. So right, onwards and upwards. Hopefully take some photographs in a minute and I'll talk you through what I'm doing. So what I was saying earlier about trees just sticking out of rocks. I mean, look at this old silver birch, isn't it gorgeous? It's sticking out of there. How on earth he survived all these years? But he has, or she. And I can see a shot here with the rocks, the pathway, and then in the distance, which I'm going to throw out of focus, we've got some more, I think they're more birches actually. Don't know actually what sort of trees they are. But anyway, there's some trees in the background, so just going to zoom in a bit with 24 to 200, just trying to keep the sky out a little bit. Now the light's not the best, but it'll be quite nice, I think. Okay, That's not too bad. 30th of a second, f8. Might just come down on the aperture a bit. So we've come down to 5.6. And this is set up for aperture priority, so I set the aperture and it will set the shutter speed, which at the moment is 1/45 of a second. And the idea of this with back button focusing is that the other trees are out of focus. Might be quite nice. What I really forgot to appreciate was the fact that because this is quite a steep hillside, there aren't that many of these lovely gnarled old oaks. That's what I need to be in the wood for, and this is just a walk. So, but some lovely greens over here. There's still bits to see, there's loads to enjoy, and if they're doing nothing else, I'm just going to enjoy the walk. Right, onwards. I've got mosquito spray on, but I'm still getting attacked by midges. Maybe I need to put some more on. That's the path behind me that we climbed up, and we've now arrived back at some beautiful views across the mountains. Really, really lovely. Let me just flick you around and show you what I'm looking at. Because we're now at a quarry edge, or the edge of certainly a nice steep drop. So I'm going to do some little abstracty stuff with the long lens here. There's some little ferns sticking in some of the fissures and cracks, just to play with some colour really, or some texture more than colour. And there's a few old trees that I've just spotted as well, hanging off the side, so we'll just play with some branches. Quite enjoying this actually, it's a really nice walk. Taking my time, it's very slow, but often slowing down means you see more. I think sometimes we just speed through life and miss bits, so I really am deliberately slowing down, which is normally what a tripod does for me, but hand holding has been a little bit different, and actually this little setup I've got here is working really, really well. Right, let's see what I can find. I'll put any photographs that I take on the screen now for you. I really enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed the slate and the ruggedness of this and the various abstracts. The stabilisation has been okay. I'm going to be shooting down to about 20th or 15th of a second, and everything looks on the back of the camera looks okay. So we'll have a look in Lightroom and process these. So I'm going to end the video there and say thank you very much for tuning in as ever. But a very different experience. Next week I'm hoping that we'll be climbing Home Fell, and that will be part 3 of this Lake District series from the spring, which I've really enjoyed. So from a very rugged Lake District, see you next week. Bye.